Our big focus this evening is BCCI Chief Srinivasan refusing to go despite the indictment from the Supreme Court. Let's cross live to Shivani for all the latest.
Thanks a lot, Srinivasan is brazening it out once again, clinging to his post despite severe criticism by the Supreme Court. And Headlines Today has now learned that the board president will use a time-bound probe ruse as a ploy to cling on to his chair. He's likely to only step aside for a time-bound probe and not step down as the Supreme Court had asked. Now, another former BCCI boss, I.S. Bindra, is joining us for his first reaction since that observation made by the Supreme Court. Mr. Bindra, more than a day has gone by and Srinivasan is still clinging on to his position. Don't you think he should quit immediately?
There is no doubt about that, but he will not quit. Knowing him, I know that he will not quit till he is thrown out. He has to be thrown out of the chair. He will stick to it. And he's obviously a lot of vested interest and a lot of skeletons to hide. So he won't go unless he is thrown out by the court.
But don't you think, sir, that this is doing extreme damage to the BCCI's reputation, that even after a rap on the knuckles by the Supreme Court, nobody from the BCCI can make him quit?
It's not a knock on the knuckles, it's a hammer on the head.
Yeah.
BCCI, Indian cricket and the world cricket. And anyone with slight amount of decency and self-respect would have quit immediately, within minutes of the strictures and scathing criticism of the highest court of the land. But he is brazenly holding on and he will not leave. He, like last June when the whole thing happened, he said he'll step aside and not step down, and similar plea is going to make tomorrow in the Supreme Court. He'll step down and let there be a time-bound inquiry, and he'll try and hang on as long as possible. And in the process, he'll drag down Indian cricket along with him.
But sir, you're the president of the Punjab Cricket Association. Why can't everyone in the BCCI come together if they genuinely feel that this man needs to quit his position?
Everyone, if it got together, then cricket wouldn't have reached this stage. Cricket is because most of the members are either party to the thing or are too weak to take any action, and he's too powerful. He has plenty of money, bags, and a lot of patronage to oblige people, and he's carrying on brazenly. And I have been demanding since last June. I have written 4 columns. I went to Chennai meeting, attended it, but to no effect. So he is not going to resign. Knowing him fully well, he is not going to resign unless he is thrown out.
So, sir, let me ask you that question in a different way. What will you and other like-minded members of the BCCI do now, or what can you do to ensure that it doesn't become worse than this? It already is right now.
My God, it can't get worse than this, any worse, because the state of Indian cricket is deplorable. One is ashamed of being associated with the game of cricket. The game which everyone loves has come to this pass that Supreme Court, the highest court of land, calls it nauseating, the act of the board president who is sticking on to the chair.
Right.
Anything can't be worse than that.
All right, Mr. Bindra, hold your thought. We also spoke to former BCCI President Shashank Manohar, and in an exclusive statement to Headlines Today, he demanded a CBI probe into the IPL fixing scam. He also said that the tournament should be suspended for a year. Obviously, going on to also say that paying heed to the Supreme Court's advice, Srinivasan should step down for a fair probe to be conducted. Would you second that opinion, Mr. Bindra, that a CBI probe should be conducted into the allegations of match fixing?
The views of Shashank Manohar. Shashank is a highly respected former president of the board. I have a lot of regard for him. I respect his views and I totally agree with him. When cricket is more important than few bucks here and there, money is not the only thing. Cricket is more important and sacrosanct, the game which we love. And the game is being brought into disrepute. The IPL is, the matches are suspected to be fixed. The Rajasthan-Chennai match last in 6th IPL. The Justice Model Committee has said that the match, there is some suspicion about the match.
Yeah.
Some players are involved, suspected to be involved in match fixing and spot fixing. till the whole process is complete and the inquiry is complete and IPL is clean, there is no point in having in Sharjah, my God.
Exactly.
When the ban on cricket being played in Sharjah, why is it being taken to Sharjah? The board had taken a decision Jagu and I had requisitioned a meeting when India was the president and general body had passed a resolution in Chennai that no more cricket in Sharjah. And the board, the government of India had endorsed it during the 2002 match fixing inquiry that no more cricket in Sharjah. And he is taking it to Sharjah, which is at the center of match fixing. So all these factors, I totally agree with Shashank that it's time to suspend IPL for this coming season 7 till the inquiry is complete, the independent CBI inquiry is complete and the whole process of cleansing up is complete.
Final question to you, Mr. Bindra. Do you have any hopes that before the hearing tomorrow, maybe better sense will prevail and N. Srinivasan will finally relent?
I wish it does. He should relent in the interest of cricket. If he has an iota of self-respect and some love for the game, he should quit. He should have quit immediately after the scathing criticism of the Supreme Court. But knowing him, he is more interested in his position and he will stick on to the chair. I am sure he will not resign. I hope he resigns, but he won't do that.
All right, now I.S. Bindra, speaking exclusively to Headlines Today, has become the third former president of the BCCI to come out openly and say that Srinivasan clinging to his chair is actually doing immense harm to the reputation of the game and the board itself. Mr. Bindra, thanks a lot for joining us. Let me also go across to my colleague Vedika, who's joining us from Chennai, keeping a close eye on all the developments in N. Srinivasan's home city. Vedika, what's the latest that you're witnessing around you?
Shivani, the latest is that N. Srinivasan did make his way out for the first time today from his house. We believe he went to visit his doctor because he's had a cataract surgery this morning. He went to remove his eye patch and he returned a few moments ago. We've sent you those visuals as well. Those are the only visuals we have of the man today. His silence being questioned by many right now, Shivani, but like you rightly pointed out, I think he's ready to bow down, but he's not ready to bow out as we speak. Our sources telling us the maximum that he'll do is tomorrow in the Supreme Court, his counsel is going to say that N. Srinivasan is ready to just, give it some time. There are a few more people coming in behind me, Shivani, as you can see. Ever since the morning, there's just been his counsel who's visited his house, after which we saw N. Srinivasan leave his place for about 15 minutes, like I just mentioned. But our sources telling us, as far as N. Srinivasan is concerned, his counsel tomorrow will say that the BCCI chief is ready to step aside and not step down. I also spoke with former BCCI chief A.C. Muthaiya this morning, and like the other former chiefs of the BCCI have said, and like you mentioned, he also has requested that Srinivasan step down. He went on to say that if he has any love for the game, N. Srinivasan should step down. It seems for two reasons, he said, Shivani, that he isn't. One, he's trying to defend his son-in-law, Gurunath Mayappan. The other being that he wants that post of ICC chief later this year.
Right, and I.S. Bindra adding to that, that there are a lot of skeletons in the closet of the BCCI, and that is what N. Srinivasan doesn't want to come out if he leaves his position. Let's listen into that interview with A.C. Muthaiya that Vedika sent us earlier.
My first question to you, sir, is our sources are now telling us that Mr. N. Srinivasan is ready to step aside and not step down. What is your reaction to that?
It's all nonsense. I think he should resign. When the highest court in the country has found some fault against him, he's bringing disrepute to the board. He should, if I were in his position, God willing I'm not there in his position, but he should resign immediately. Why should he step aside and then make all this dramatic? What is his interest in being there? There's something beyond all this, I think. So he must say, I'm getting out, and he should resign himself. Why is he not doing that and saying there's all dramatics he's playing?
And this despite a lot of the BCCI officials themselves saying it's time for him to step down.
Yeah, everybody is saying that he should step down, and I think he's vying for the ICC post, and that is one of the reasons. And I do not know, I think he wants to save his son-in-law, so he's shielding something which is not coming out in the open. So he should immediately resign, not even step down. I feel that he should, I strongly feel that he should resign from the